Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the established 1982 podcast, the Geek Culture Podcast, hosted by responsibly irresponsible adults that have loved video games, comic books, movies, and TV ever since 1982. I'm the Lawnsman, Wally Analog, and I'm joined, of course, by my homie. It is none other than the gatekeeper of civility and order, Rolls Royce is in the building. How are you today, sir?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Yes, everything is wonderful. There's just so much wonderful content out here on television. Left to the theater.
Oh, wow.
You know, I gotta shout that out at least once per episode. But all jokes
aside, in again. So
all jokes aside, man, television is great, and we are here today to go over two. We're going to discuss two series that we've watched already. One being Invincible on Amazon Prime, and then two, Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. Man, I for one am excited about such quality content that's not coming out of the house of DC or Marvel. That makes me feel great.
Agreed.
That we don't have to rely on the big two to get this quality stuff out here.
Right.
And so that, that's encouraging, especially considering that one of the big two seem to be lagging behind and not doing very much to try to effectively right the ship, as it were. So yeah, it's good to be able to sit at the crib and watch this stuff and enjoy it. So Rose, let's get into Invincible. Let's do Invincible first. Let's talk about Invincible.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you read the comic, correct?
No, I haven't. I went into it blind, not knowing anything about the story.
Okay. Yeah. Other than Robert Kirkman was responsible. That's all you
Correct. And I'm actually glad that I'm glad that I did not know much about the book. Now, after watching it, I felt ashamed that I did not read this masterpiece of a comic book story.
Cosign, sir. Cosign.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. I came into it blind.
And as did I. And I think we benefited from that. Even though, as you say, I do hate the fact that I wasn't very insightful in picking up the source material. But there's something to be said about being surprised,
right?
Shocked, and for the first time, the first viewing. So your initial thoughts are clearly ones of satisfaction.
Yes, absolutely. Man, it's just refreshing to see and again, this is not a new story. Kirkman created this 6 months before he created Walking Dead. Let that sink in.
Nice.
So yeah. Let's just say he's probably sitting on $1 million or maybe even $1 billion at this point off of those two properties alone.
Right.
I mean, just Walking Dead alone. Think about that.
Insanity. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Imagine how much money he had to get paid in order for them to put that on AMC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now Amazon has Invincible.
My God.
And can you even imagine the book sales after Invincible came out? Yeah. The book sales when it got announced
on Amazon. It's like
on Amazon. And then
because they own Comixology.
Right. Yep. But anyway, it's really refreshing to see a fresh comic book story. And granted, there's hints of Marvel and DC in there, especially DC with the Big Seven, the Justice League, right? But
Guardians of the Globe,
the Guardians of the Globe, and their archetypes of the Justice League, but they're done in a refreshing way.
Yeah,
they're just not like a straight ripoff.
No,
Like you have Green Ghost, which
Right.
is maybe an archetype for Green Lantern,
Right.
but she's totally different from Green Lantern. She doesn't have a ring or anything like
Right.
that.
Right.
I mean, you have the Immortal,
Yep.
which I mean, he was kind of thrown in for flavor, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He put me in the mind a little bit of a Shazam type, not necessarily magic, but still
right.
possessing a lot of the same
Powers as Superman.
Mm,
Right. And then
mhm.
of course you have Omni-Man, which is pretty
Yeah.
much the archetype of Superman.
Point
And
blank. Who was the dude that was Batman again? The guy, he had all the gadgets and had the little the board.
Blackwing.
Yeah, Darkwing.
Darkwing. Sorry,
Yeah.
I said Blackwing.
Yeah. Blackwing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darkwing.
Yeah.
And I loved everything about him, like the gadgets, the planes, everything. Like, but yeah, I just think it's a refreshing story. I like that we're getting into this territory now where, it's a shame that DC hasn't locked down on a good Superman story, right?
Man.
And it takes these other properties to show them this is how you do a Superman story, or this is here's a take, guys.
Mm-hmm. With their Mm-hmm.
So like, when we get into it, I mean, this whole the whole thing with Invincible is about, I guess the setup for Invincible, and I'll get your thoughts on it too.
Mm-hmm.
You have Omni-Man, and he's married, he has a wife, and he has a son, Mark, and Mark is showing that he has powers as well. And Omni-Man is, on the surface, it just seems like Omni-Man is proud that his son is exhibiting these powers, and he wants to train him to be, I guess, like him. Which inherently is a deeper father-son story, on the sly. I mean, we both have sons, and we all, as fathers, we have a special place in our heart, for our sons. It's just, we have a special place in our heart. So it's cool to see that connection, that father-son connection in this show. And then the one last thing I wanted to say about Invincible was, I like how Kirkman writes the realism of being a superhero in a fantastical world. So like, okay, if Superman is fighting a villain over downtown, there's going to be some damage, some collateral damage. Buildings are going to break.
Yes.
Might be some people that die, that kind of thing.
And for a whole lot of different other reasons too.
Exactly. So, man, what was your take on it?
Man, okay, my take was pretty similar. You honed in on the relationship between the father and the son, and his I guess anticipation of Mark getting his powers, but at the same time, a bit of not disappointment, but he's almost like he's dreading it also.
Omni-Man is?
Yes. There wasn't this unbridled excitement, because he knew what he would be responsible for in terms of preparing him for what I guess his destiny is to be.
Well, that's interesting.
Those are kind of dude that Mark is, right? He's like,
right.
Oh, this is going to be some work, and I don't know whether or not he's going to be. He wants him to have the powers,
right?
He's concerned about his mindset,
right?
And we find out for good reason. The realism of the show, it's something that creators now of this type of genre are able to do, because with the old guards, the Batman, Superman, these older characters, you got to work within the lore for fear of getting attacked by the fanboys for daring to change them. So now you have a situation where there are no Boy Scouts anymore. There they're introducing the humanity of someone bestowed with these godly powers and how they would most likely act
right,
as someone with these powers. You don't, like I said, you don't see a whole lot of Boy Scouts anymore. You see some people that are opportunists and things of that nature. They're human beings. They're not even the best people. You know, you see this examples of this in this show. You'll see it in the show we'll talk about later in Jupiter's Legacy. You see it in The Boys. It's what's being done, and I appreciate that take, because now, you know, we're more, I guess, cerebral in our thinking and tend to be more realist in viewing this stuff. Like, this stuff was written for kids back in the day, you know, for the most part. It was you know, youth entertainment a lot of times, and now we're getting into this content. I mean, it's rated R, this stuff. You know, it's mature audiences, and not just because heads are getting busted, but because there are some real themes here.
right, right,
and themes, morality and free will, and, you know, things like that are being touched on. So I appreciate that. And then for an animated production, it has to be that for me, or else you lose me.
right,
Me personally,
right,
with animated stuff, because it's hard for me to sit through a cartoon, man, if it's not compelling from the beginning. And so what's interesting was, you and some of the other fellas were talking about, man, it's Invincible on the text chain.
right.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, man, it's a cartoon. I'm not really, So one homie would say, "Oh my God, this is mind blowing." Then the next one, and then the next one. I'm like, okay, I just everybody on the text chain is co-signing this. Let me get in.
Right.
So I get in, man, and it's roughly 40 minutes an episode, I guess 40 to 42 minutes or so. So I get all the way through the first episode. I'm thinking, okay, it's okay. I'm not sure. But I'm sure the big, and then that last act, the last 5 minutes,
right.
I was like, oh, bruh, cue up the next.
Right.
I was in after that, and so that's the type of stuff. Because at the beginning, Kirkman has you feeling like, yeah, this is another superhero story, another one,
right?
Goody Two Shoes, Omni-Man, and now he's got a son, and okay, what's the rub here? And so you get it. And so you mentioned the Guardians of the Globe, the would-be Justice League, as it were, getting mopped up, murdered in dramatic fashion by the Superman archetype in Omni-Man. And we have no idea why, right? Like, no idea why this is happening.
Right.
And so that was enough. That was the hook. Right. So, man, from then on, it just went. It effectively introduced tons of other characters and made you care about them. At first you think they're just side people, characters, and then you realize, no, they're playing an integral part in telling this story, man. So I loved it, man. I mean, all the praises that everybody was showering on this production, they're warranted.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The you mentioned, like the perfect hook, right? I think Kirkman did a good job of. It didn't happen exactly like I can't wait to read the first few issues, because I think that one episode might have encompassed probably like maybe say 6 issues.
Possibly, yeah.
And I think he made sure he kind of like swapped around some things, like some of the characters that he gets into in the series, they don't happen till much later. Like the what was it, Brick? Is that the guy?
Which one?
The Mahershala Ali
Titan.
Sorry, why did I call him Brick? That's stupid. I guess because he turns into
Yeah,
literally Titan. Like Titan doesn't happen till like later in the Invincible story, but he brought him into season 1 to make the story flesh out a little bit better.
Right.
So I like that Kirkman is like remixing some things. So, and that's beautiful, because if you were an avid comic book reader and you were reading the books and then you watch the show, everything will feel predictable, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So getting back to that Omni-Man and, slaughtering the Guardians of the Globe, it was a perfect hook, because now you have the audience. The audience is viewing this act. Nobody else in the story is viewing the act. Like the only people that were in the room, including you, like you're watching it and you're in the room watching Omni-Man slaughter his teammates. So you're along in this journey with them. Like, man, you're watching the series trying to figure out, like, that tension is there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The tension is there where you're trying to figure out, okay, is there an alien controlling this cat?
Yeah.
Like, what is the deal? This dude is still like, he's saving lives. He's still acting like he's Superman, but we know he just slaughtered a bunch of folks
that are supposedly in lockstep with the overall mission of all those with superior abilities.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out, okay, well, why are you cutting down these people who are moving in concert with you as far as mission and vision?
Right. And I mean, ultimately, I just love the bookend. So like you have the first episode where you have this happen in the credits, and I thought it was just done masterfully. Like the credits run, and then all of a sudden there's like 8 more minutes of this dude slaughtering. Like it took him a while to slaughter them. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, he had to go hard. Like he was in the hospital after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they were sewing him up for a minute. Like, man, what are you doing?
Like, he always gets to this point where, okay, I'm done playing.
Right.
Right. He always gets to that point.
Right.
It's almost as if he's doing a Superman, I'm holding back, except unlike Kal-El, he goes ahead and throws it into the final gear.
Yes. Quickly.
And then when he does that, it doesn't appear that there's one single being that can deal with it.
Correct.
He does that.
Right. And I'm sorry, I digressed on that awesomeness, but what I was going to say was I like that they put bookends to this season. So you had episode 1 that had that particular event, and then that led you to what we will lead up to talk about as like one of the dopest endings of a series ever, so I like the way that Kirkman framed everything and then set it up for seasons 2 and 3, which they immediately got greenlit for.
Amazing.
Yeah, because Amazon probably looked at the
streaming numbers.
They looked at the streaming numbers, but also, and this is what's dope about Amazon, they probably looked at those book sales.
Correct.
I guarantee that their book sales shot up. Like I know I tried to order one and it was sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I ordered one and it got lost, quote unquote, lost.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah.
So yes, Invincible. An interesting take on planetary invasion and domination.
Absolutely.
This isn't your typical Independence Day. We're gonna come in and get the water supply, just drain you dry or nothing like that.
Right.
The brilliance.
Brilliant writing on that.
It is brilliant.
Yes.
The thought of a planet of naturally powered people who whose goal is to essentially assimilate an entire galaxy into their infrastructure and frame of thinking with them at the helm, right? Like you're going to be a part of this. And then they're so narcissistic, and they're narcissistic enough to say that, or to believe that this is for your good. It's almost like a Thanos kind of deal, except they're not wiping out people. Well, to a degree they are, because they do have this ritual where they tend to eliminate the weak, because that's what this is about, right? They're going from
planet to mass race. There's so many themes in here that are so
they're like nonsense.
They are literally like, and now there's some black folks in this master race.
But yes, but the ideology is the same.
Correct.
The ideology is the same. We are superior. We're doing you a favor. Get on board or get run over.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to die, but if you don't want to, you will. I mean, they're on some Borg type stuff.
Right.
Will be assimilated. But he comes down and frames it as if my people dispatch members, of our race to help these planets. We come to rescue them and save them from planetary dangers, or sometimes from themselves. They come down as messiahs without truly revealing what the goal is.
Right.
This dude has started a family, which
he's basically assimilating into.
Yes, with the
society.
goal of procreating, to create, to expand his race of people.
Yes.
Not because he loves his wife, doesn't particularly care about his family at all. They're just pawns in this game. And it was heavy.
Yes.
Hearing that whole explanation. I mean,
and what was so dope was you actually had an alien race actually trying to invade Earth, and the superheroes kept fighting them off. And then when Omni-Man was like, okay, I'm done. Like the writing was dope, because like on one hand, they were showing, like, before Omni-Man gave the reveal, they were showing, okay, well, here's a race that's just coming down and they're just trying to invade Earth, right?
The Claxons.
Right.
The dudes age quickly.
Correct. Yes. So they have that as a vehicle to let you know, okay, we're going to throw some hints that this is about alien invasion and this is on a larger scale. It's not just Earth, right?
Right.
So that was dope. But then when Omni-Man, which again, it just shows the waves of the writing and like how they place different scenes. Like you have this traumatic scene with Omni-Man at the beginning. I would say, well, it was only an 8 episode.
8. Yeah.
It was only 8, right? So I think around 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, that's when we got the reveal that Omni-Man just said, okay, I am done with you guys trying to invade the planet I'm trying to invade.
They kept doing it.
Right. They kept doing it. And it was to the point where it was right.
And so he's like, and the whole time we're not realizing that Viltrum, this planet that he's from, of all these mighty beings that pretty much had a blood sport to weed out all the weak on the planet to determine who were going to be those who went out to assimilate other planets.
Right.
The thought, they have planets marked throughout the galaxy as those that we are to take over. And if you come through on any, if you come through any of these planets, any of these areas that our stamp is on, you about to get dealt with.
Right.
And so,
boy, did he deal with it.
but it's almost as if he felt as if they were light work, that he didn't, at the first and the second invasion wasn't even enough for him to stop watching television to go deal with.
That's right. He was like, let the other folks deal with him. Okay.
Let the team and all the rest of them deal with him. And it was that last time when he was just like, okay, you're doing too much.
Right.
Because team was having some problems. And, enough is enough.
Right.
Who came through and he literally destroyed he went through their portal that they came through, entered into their civilization, and decimated it.
Right.
It no longer exists. He killed a planet of people on a Death Star level. I mean, he all the random fools.
Right.
and you got to I believe that was the first that we got to see of what Omni-Man's.
It was a bigger reveal without saying, okay, when he makes this reveal, like you go back to that and go, why did he do that?
Right. Like, surely he wasn't just tired of them. I mean, he could have just beat them up and said, but no.
He was like, I take this personally. You invaded my planet.
Right. And this belongs to the Viltrumites.
Right.
You know it does.
But you still don't know that as you're going through the series. You're like, wow, that was excessive. That dude decimated these invading aliens. That was a little excessive.
Exactly.
And some people might find reason. Well, yeah, I guess I would try to decimate this whole crew. They keep trying to invade the Earth. So, let's
coming back.
Right.
Yes. And man, it was just and the Claxons, they were written so well. It's like their whole time thing was on out of whack. It's like 10 minutes to them was like 10 years.
Right.
And so they had to, every time they came back, it was like decades later in their time.
Right.
But actually maybe like
because time goes faster in there. Yeah, because when Omni-Man went over there, he was aging, even though right.
Yeah, so he was just like, so that's why he felt there's a sense of urgency. Let me get over here and take care of this real quick. I'm talking about women and kids. He didn't care.
Right.
He took them all out. So like you said, it was a vehicle that would get paid off later with the information provided. And now you understand. So now he's got to explain to his son, and he's been holding this back. He's not been sharing with his son this information. His wife is has become very suspicious and 100% in the camp that believe that he slaughtered the Guardians of the Globe.
Well, and she only became suspicious when what was it, Damien Darkblood?
Yes,
they brought this Etrigan-esque. Etrigan the Demon is a comic book character in a DC universe. Mm-hmm. He reminded me of Etrigan. Mm-hmm. But they what is it the council? I'm blanking on the group that kind of watches Omni-Man and the Guardian. They kind of sponsor the Guardians of the Globe.
You're talking about Cecil's group.
Cecil and the whole crew, that whole crew of folks. Mm-hmm. Like they bring Damien Darkblood to go, hey, something's off here.
He's like the resident
detective,
private investigator. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So yes, she becomes suspicious after Damien Darkblood says, hey, your husband ain't on the up and up.
Killing folk.
Right. And here's the evidence. Right.
So
like there's no other blood other than his. It's like getting spilled.
Yes, and it's fresh. And I'm about to go all the way off
right.
All the way off tangent. Man, can we just let's just give Mark Hamill his flowers, please.
Oh wow, that was Mark Hamill, right?
No, Mark Hamill was the guy that was making the suits.
That's him. Wow.
It's Mark Hamill.
I'll give him his flowers because I didn't even he
Yeah.
made it in a way where I didn't even recognize it was Mark Hamill.
And that's what I'm saying. How can he do all these voices? You can't hear, you can never hear his voice. I mean, and the voice acting talent they got on here. What was the budget? Only a Bezos.
Yeah. I mean, they got Sonequa Martin Green. She's
for like 5 seconds.
Right. I mean, she was Green Ghost.
Yeah, done. You know what I'm saying? Like done after, yeah.
Right.
Good folks, man. J.K. Simmons and like I said, Mark Hamill and Mahershala Ali,
Seth Rogen,
and I mean these people. These are not like
Zachary Quinto, man. I mean, like
on and on and on with this cast. So you almost had to know they're not going to sign on to no boo boo.
Right.
It's got to be good, like by default.
Right.
It's
Michael Dorn. Right. They even got Reginald they got Reginald Johnson up in there. You
know? And he's principal of the high school with the same name.
So backstory on that. Kirkman and Otley, I think. I could be wrong because there's two guys that draw Invincible.
Okay.
There was one guy that started it, and then Otley took it and made it what it is. So they had a thing for like 90s sitcoms. So like the Family Matters came up and they were like, wouldn't it be cool, like in the book, wouldn't it be cool to just have some Easter egg in there? And they put it in the show, and to get it cleared, they wanted to make sure that it got cleared, so it'll be accurate to the comic. So they brought him on as voice cast. I mean, I guess if you pulling in A-listers to do the cast, I mean, so yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah. And so now you got this son who's like mad confused. He's showing promise. Of course, he gets mopped up at least once an episode. He's still having some issues.
And that's great too. Like all that stuff that we talked about, we were just talking about Omni-Man. We didn't even touch on Mark.
We don't even have the time. Like,
right.
Mark's character is one that you feel for, you grow to like. He wants to be like his dad. He possesses these values and principles that he thinks his father has.
Correct.
He believes his father is this guy who has been assigned Earth to protect and defend and help people. And that's not even the case. It is not even the case. I mean, he even makes the case. He said, I want to do what you do, Dad. I want to do what you do. Not understanding, bro, you probably don't. And Omni-Man knows that, bro, it's going to be tough because he's believed that he's soft. Growing up as a human and interacting with humans and acquiring these feelings and, getting these feelings about people and even his mom. Like, I mean, he just basically said his mom is more like a pet than a wife. You know what I'm saying? This is just, she's adorable in that way, but that's it. Like at the end of the day, she got to go too if she doesn't decide, to succumb to, what the goal is.
Right.
And that was heartbreaking, man. And you could feel Mark's heartbreaking and his wife, because she's listening to all of this because they got him, pretty much mic'd up. Cecil and them got him mic'd up so she can understand the truth after he's going through his, bad guy dialogue monologue.
Right.
And so it's gut wrenching.
Well, and let me say this. The thing that I really love about the writing here is they are setting Mark up to be they're setting Mark up to be this hero, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like one of the dopest comic book like a hero has to become a hero, you have to go through these trials, right?
Yeah.
So he's going through high school, right? So you got that. And at first I was like, man, what's all this high school stuff? Mm-hmm. But when you get to the end, he's still thinking like, I still need to get through high school.
Right.
Which is, when we were going through high school, you're trying to become your own, right?
Right.
So not only does he have to become his own as a high school, like a normal human being, right? But now he also has the burden and the responsibility of having these powers as a Vitramite, right? Or half Vitramite.
Yeah. But enough of a Viltrumite to do what he needs to do.
Right. So he has that on 2 layers. And then on top of that, your dad is a supremacist.
That is cool.
And I can't look to this cat for guidance now. Like when we get to the end, it's nuts because you want to follow. Like now I'm on Team Mark because I'm like, this dude has to learn as he goes along because like when you go through the show, and again, beautiful job on the writing in terms of like showing the realism. Like Mark's trying to help people, like, they're falling out of falling buildings and he doesn't do it right because he doesn't know the extent.
Right.
He doesn't know how to control his power. So like if he's grabbing a lady's arm from falling, he's saving her, but then he's also killing her at the same time, which is
like, he hasn't figured, he's not. Yeah. And so now you're rooting for this dude because not only is he lacking in areas like that, but he can't get with Pops yet. And it showed. Dude was and you watching Omni-Man just smash this dude, like his own son just beating him to a bloody pulp.
Right. Even before that, though, see that again, like we keep talking on here about good writing. That was a thing that just kept landing for me. It's like, okay, yes, the obvious stuff. Omni-Man's wiping Mark, right?
Right.
But then it makes you think back to other scenes leading up to that, where as Omni-Man is trying to train Mark, there's a level of evil that's kind of there.
Yes.
Like I'm just going to just show this dude up every single time.
Right.
Like even if we're racing, Mark is just going to have to, bro, you survival of the fittest, dog. You ain't going to, I ain't giving you training wheels.
Right. But it's like pick up with your son. Right.
Right.
I'm gonna swat that mess into the bushes.
Correct.
You nothing will come easy.
Correct.
You look at that and you're thinking, well, maybe it's that, but there was something else to it, man. It was just like, because like I said at the beginning, you got this hint that he was happy he got his powers, but not necessarily. He's like, he felt he was soft. He made that point later on in the series. Like he was soft. I raised you as a human. My bad. Should not have done that.
Right. But he was saying stuff along the way where it was like a slow burn which you can go, like, I guarantee if you watch the series now, knowing what you know, there will be some stuff that just pops up and it's just like, wow, they were actually writing it where it was like building up, the wiping out of the race of folks, the ambivalence to certain things, like the fake speeches to the whole planet. It's just like, trying to, put up the he probably, in his mind, as he's speaking to people, he's probably thinking, well, hey, I'm clearly superior and you're going to look to me as a god anyway. So I'm there for you. Right. So yeah, man. Yeah. I can't even say enough about this show, man.
We don't have enough time, man. I mean, we ain't even talk about Battle Beast. Like, who this dude? I mean, there's so many characters. There's so many characters.
Battle Beast.
We would, the robot, so compelling.
Correct.
All these flawed members of Teen Team who have later become members of the new Guardians of the Globe after the slaughtering of the initial ones. So many storylines. We're just really right now talking about the centerpiece of it.
Right.
We're not even talking about the layers that make this show what it is.
that Titan, that one episode dedicated to Titan alone was just like,
Yes.
it's like they're just showing off at this point. They took the time to like address that dude.
Right. And you got a chance to see Nolan, aka Omni-Man's superiority complex, when he was like, you don't need to be fooling with no street level crime. That's a mess. Why are you helping this dude? You know, this black dude try to help feed his family and his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Titan.
Right.
It just heavy, not realizing that dude was plotting from the beginning.
Right.
Like Titan he's a smart dude.
They cared. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're sympathizing with that cat.
Yeah, because you understand that. And he was
also from a race perspective too.
Yes. He's like, man, don't waste your time. And he's like, you know, Mark is like, why is helping people a waste of time? He's like, man, we fight planetary stuff. We don't deal with street thugs. We don't deal with the cretins of the planet. You know what I mean? We don't fool with that.
Right.
It's all big crimes. It put me in the mind of Watchmen when they say, "No, we don't do black unrest," or we don't deal with that.
Right. Like, and that was crazy too, because I thought it was weird because Mark was getting destroyed by Battle Beast, right?
Yeah.
And there was one.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, there was one shot of.
No, you're not mistaken. That was your boy.
Yeah, Omni-Man was just floating in the air, watching it go down, and I was like, "Wow!"
Either he did not want any part, but see, now you feel like he doesn't acknowledge family. Mark is just another dude, and
I thought it was weird, and I was like, "Oh, was that a mistake? Did they meet?" Like, it didn't even like throw red flags at me.
It was clear. It was clear. Either he didn't want no part of Battle Beast for whatever reason. We had no reason to believe that he doesn't,
right?
Or he just felt like, you know what, Mark need to take this whooping. If he dies, you know, now in retrospect after seeing it, it's like he doesn't care. He told Mark, he said, "Man, if I have to create another one of you, I will."
You know, Ivan Drago, that dude. If he dies, he dies. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's just so much to say about this show, man. I don't know. We can go on and on and on.
Let me say one last thing.
Yeah.
How would I phrase this?
Mm-hmm.
The goal of a good story is being able to make the audience care about the character or feel something. Omni-Man was beating the brakes off of his son, right?
Man.
And Omni-Man is doing the villainous rant.
Yes.
And he says, "Man, why do you keep fighting me? These folks are insignificant."
Yes.
Like,
we don't care about them.
Right. 500 years from now, this planet will be dust. And what are you going to have left? And
Nothing.
He said, and Mark, he's bleeding. Like, his teeth are knocked out. He's spitting up blood. He said, at least I'll have you. And I was just like, man tier, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah.
I was just like, it doesn't get any better than that. They didn't have to write that. I mean, and I got to read the book because, like, it's amazing, man. Like, that's like, it's going back to what you said, and I know we got to jump on Jupiter's Legacy. It's like you said, like, these comic book stories are, because we are I'm assuming we're the target market because of the R ratings and stuff like that. They are attaching, comic books are literature. I don't want to say that they're not literature, but the themes that they're bringing in to it to make these think pieces, you know, like this is father-son relationship. This is supremacy, you know. This is also talking about, like, it encompasses a lot. I mean, it's the whole world in a microcosm in one season, you know. But anyway, when he said that, I was just like, man, I got chills.
Even he had to take off, man, because he got to flashbacking on when he actually felt like a dad and a husband at his little son's baseball game. It was,
but even then, he was still showing supremacist
right,
thoughts.
right.
He was like, man, I want to get out of here. Like, this is
right.
stupid.
I can't. It's just but I'm talking. But at the end of that, though,
when Mark does his thing,
man, he felt it, and he was like, oh, it's like he flew away from the fight because he was beginning to feel humanity, and he doesn't want to feel humanity.
The teeth.
The only thing that can make Omni-Man run from a fight is the thought of humanity.
Right.
Succumb, overtaking him.
That's beautiful writing. And even the juxtaposition, like when he's doing the flashback, his son has a snaggletooth.
Yeah.
And then you go back to when Mark is laying there on a mountain and he has the same snaggletooth. I was like,
him out. Right.
You care. Like this is what we're talking about in terms of writing. Like when we're getting on, like we have a Black Lightning podcast and we talked about how sloppy the writing was. Just do some of this. It doesn't have to be all of this, but just do some of this. Falcon and Winter Soldier, the same thing.
Yes.
At some point we need to talk about that because like at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, not to digress on Falcon and Winter Soldier, I shed a couple of man tears as well.
Absolutely.
And it's a Denzel Washington kind where it's like,
that's right, the glory
one tear, just
the Native American after you litter.
Right.
That's correct.
Right. So anyway, man, if you haven't watched this show, watch it.
Yeah. And if we've spoiled it already, but still
watch it. Right. Watch it. Read the books.
In the title before you clicked it. Spoilers.
Right. So. Right. And then last thing, man, the thing I really love about Kirkman, man, he just, to me, I have a lot of respect for him because he has a passion for comic books. He got into this. You can tell by this story. This was his first, like he did Invincible first and then Walking Dead. Right.
Great.
So he has a love for this genre. Right. So I heard him on an interview one time and they were like, clearly you're selling books like hotcakes now. Where can we get your books? Now, he could have easily said, hey, go to that Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He didn't say that. He said, look, find your local comic book store.
Find your local store. Keep the dream alive.
Exactly. So I love how he brings it back. He is always focused on that local comic book store. Yeah. These are where these stories live, guys. Like this is all this stuff that comes out. It's coming from a book like that's sitting in the comic book store right now. All this dopeness that you're saying, you haven't read a comic book. That's where all this stuff is coming from. If those stores die, we might not get stuff like this. So anyway, that's my last thought, man. Props to Kirkman, all of them folks.
Yeah, man, putting it in, getting it in.
Yeah,
all the way. Invincible, A+. A+. Now,
yes,
Jupiter's Legacy. Now, man, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews out here.
Right.
Pertaining to Jupiter's Legacy. Now, I saw the trailer. We saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all, I think I put it out in with the most recent trailer. I put it out. I was like, man, y'all, I'm gonna have to see what this is about. And then, there were some of us that are familiar with the source material. One being Mr. Nuts. Mr. Nuts, I believe he's read everything, like for real.
Right.
So he co-signed on. And Netflix has not been, failing us as of late, to the point where I'm still looking for the second installment of Bright. Like, when is that coming back?
And Umbrella Academy, third season of that.
But anyway, so Jupiter's Legacy, bro. I burned through that in like man, I think everybody that in the group burned through it in like a day or at least two, no more than 2 days. It's not been out that long. So
Right.
as
And on Friday.
yeah, at the time of this recording, it's not even been out 48 hours and we're done.
Right.
Right. So
I think that stride of like keeping it to 8 episodes, I think that's getting cemented now.
Yes.
I remember those Netflix shows used to be like a 13, which I didn't mind if it was a good, you get that good Daredevil or somebody, like that. But
then you get that Iron Fist.
and then you're like, man, you need to wrap that up, B.
Throw away episodes.
Wrap it up. Wrap that gavel up, B.
Wrap that gavel up.
Wrap that garbage kung fu up, B. So
I don't want to train. We learned some more about him here as of late, but let's not get off the subject.
Yeah.
This show, bro. Another superhero show where clearly there are some issues. We're dealing with human beings. We're not dealing with aliens of any kind. These are all humans with abilities and have had abilities since the early 20th century. They talking about World War II and all that. I mean, these are some old people. And they go between present and past.
Before the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And that's a theme in this story as well. So
right. Yeah. So what I found at first when I started watching it, the main character, the Utopian, is a Superman archetype.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started watching it, it appeared on the surface that they were poking fun or pretty much ridiculing the notion of a no kill code, almost like taking shots at Batman a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This whole no kill, code, like no kill code. But as you get into it, man, you realize what this is. And what I viewed it as was logic versus Christianity is what I saw.
Interesting. Can you elaborate?
They made sure to let everyone know that the Utopian was a Christian.
Right.
First and foremost.
Right.
Neither is it lost on me that he looks like how Jesus is depicted in a lot of pictures, right? Long hair and that kind of.
I see what you're saying, that archetype. Yep.
Yeah. His pictures. And the code essentially was, if you look at it, was love your enemy. Every life is valuable irrespective of who they are. And it was ridiculed to no end, citing the world isn't like that anymore.
Right.
There were a number of quotes, man, in this movie. And I took the point to write them down because they hit me. Because full disclosure, man, I'm a Christian, it is what it is. They're and anyone listening can they're free, man, by all means free to believe what you believe. And there are opinions of those of us who claim to be Christians, and a lot of times we're ridiculed, obviously, when you look at everything from a logical perspective. And I understand that. Right. And I have no problem with that.
Right.
But when I look at this, I see a lot of the things that those who don't believe say. And I'm going all over the place. We'll talk about the show.
No, you're not. Keep going. Keep going.
One of the quotes, and I'm going to read a few of them because I wrote them down.
Good.
The captain on the ship, when they're on their way through that storm to the island, and we'll talk about the island. That man said, I believe in two things: what I can see and what I can touch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when he said that, I was like, okay, there's your thesis right there. There's your thesis statement right there for this show.
Yes.
Right? Because this code, and this is Grace talking, this code is something that we're asking the younger heroes to believe in blindly. That doesn't make sense anymore. Right?
Right.
You know, you come up in a home that teaches Christianity and the principles of Christianity, and then you get old enough to start thinking for yourself and realizing that, you know, as Chloe said, you do the right thing, somebody dies. You do the wrong thing, somebody dies. So what difference does it make? All these quotes, man, these are arguments that are levied at the Christian in a debate, be it healthy or not. Grace says, we made a lot of sacrifices putting on these uniforms and living this life. I will not make truth one of them anymore, saying that she has sacrificed truth, being that this code is a farce. That's the truth. I'm not sacrificing that anymore. We're not putting truth on the, you know, we're not putting truth on with the shrimp and the Barbie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, his brother, what's his brother's name? The mind guy,
Brainwave.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to think of his Walt.
Yes.
Man, he told Sheldon, man, he said people always agree with it, whatever you propose, like you're some kind of messiah. He resented that. It was like he referred to him as what he thought people regarded him as, right? A messiah of sorts.
Yeah, and it was crazy because there was a moment where it seemed uncharacteristic for him, where he went on a kind of a rant, like a jealous rant.
Yes.
Like, and it was like,
it was deep-seated. He was
Right.
living with that for a long time.
Right.
Like his birthright was taken, you know. Like
you got some
chosen one, this
stuff
Messiah
there
that everybody listens to without doing any research, without applying any logic, without doing what is the sensible thing, and just blindly following you.
Right.
The same thing people say about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My man Black Star is in the jail, and he said, you know, Sky, and he's talking to Walt in the jail cell. And he said, Sky Fox saw through your self-righteous code. He saw right through it, and he knew it was all BS, and it was just, you know, Sheldon's way of staying in control. Christianity has always been regarded as a control mechanism, you know what I'm saying, a manner in which to keep people in line. You know what I mean? So it's not lost on me what is the true focus as far as what I see here. And so it resonated with me. It was just crazy to watch the code being referred to, the code, which essentially, like I said, broke down to be love your enemy.
Yes.
Don't, you know, irrespective of what they're doing. Right. I forgot it was, you know, focusing on superheroes, which it was, and I think, and I've seen some of the reviews. It is not enough superhero action. I've seen some of that. I've seen some people say it's a little bit disjointed. I've seen other reviews state that it was really slow paced, but man, the way I looked at it, the way I watched it was in a way that I wasn't really looking for the next fight. I was too busy concerned with the principles and the thesis, the underlying premise of, you know, what they were doing, what they were trying to establish here.
Again, it's what you know, a friend of the show, Van, said when a franchise or a movie or a TV show just relies on the hero just doing a thing. Oh, I shoot beams out of my eyes, or oh, I can punch real hard, or I can lift. Right. And that's all they have.
It's all they got.
After a while, I mean, this is a crowded space we're in, right? I
Yes.
mean, we're living in a golden age. So,
Yes.
I mean, we got Invincible, we got the Arrowverse, we got all those shows, we got Marvel dropping
Hits every
stuff
week.
every month. We got Red Sonja, like they come out with Red Sonja, like they're coming out with so much.
And
Yeah, I mean the comic book space is getting mined.
Yeah,
the comic book and sci-fi space is just getting mined
Yeah.
for IP,
Right.
and all of these streaming services are rushing to get the gold. What's that show? So getting back to what I'm saying is like, I really appreciate the space of and now that you say that, you're actually changing my mind on some things. Like I thought the pacing was a little slow on this, but I think what I needed to probably do is come into this not thinking about, I need to come into this kind of blind, right? I read the story, so I knew that there was going to be action beats and things like that.
And I hadn't read it.
Correct. So you always look at things differently. You're not impressed with action for action's sake. Which I agree with you. And then there's points where I might disagree with you. But
disagree. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But again, like the writing makes you care about the characters. And I think for the most part, Jupiter's Legacy does that to a certain degree. Especially with Utopian. I
mean, the name right there is they're trolling that guy.
Right.
Because everyone knows Utopia is not a reality.
Right.
So to call yourself Utopian, that's not.
It's arrogant. It sounds arrogant too.
That is correct. And it can't be achieved. What you're proposing is not realistic. Even down to your name. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Man, I think you've said a lot there. Like I think I really like Mark Millar's works. Like he has done The Kingsman. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah.
I like that, that's his take on like the James Bond type. He has another story called Superior, which I firmly suggest people reading. Okay. Have you read that one?
I've not heard of that.
So Superior is about this kid that has like it's been so long ago. I don't know, he has cancer or he has some kind of disease where he's just like, it's just bad for him, and he magically gets these powers that make him Superman, but there's like a twist, and I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
So Superior is a great story. Nemesis is basically if Batman became a supervillain, what would that look like?
Okay.
And it's I hope that Netflix does a Nemesis series.
Yeah.
So
put Batman on TV in any form or fashion.
Right. So I mean, this dude has gotten his blessing from the icon Stan Lee. Like Stan Lee told him.
Yes.
He advised him.
He told him, yes.
Get out of Marvel. Stop writing for Marvel. Yes. Go out on your own and write your own stories.
Yes.
Because he's developing, he has his own universe. And I think Netflix is smart. I think this is a chess move here for Netflix. You got Disney, they got Marvel. That was a chess move. Disney buying Marvel, chess move. We're gonna buy all this stuff that y'all doing with the MCU, and we're just gonna hit people with these properties, right?
Right.
Netflix, they had a piece of that with the Defenders. It didn't go so well because I think behind the scenes, I don't know if Marvel was completely on. I think there was some division there with Marvel. But with this, I really think Netflix has a winner. I mean, this guy has like stories that are contained. They don't have to be crossed over. Like you're not going to see a Kingsman guy walk into Jupiter's Legacy world.
Right.
As far as I know.
Right.
He doesn't have those kind of stories. So
right. And we don't want to do that anyway. Just we don't want to
Right.
get into that. Yeah.
Right. This dude he's written Wanted. That was a movie. Like
Yes,
when he writes comics, he's basically writing for movies and TV. Like it's a perfect, he has a perfect business model for his company.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is now that you're saying what you're saying, like I like what you're saying, because I do think that you always get people that give comics a bad rap, like, this is just, people flying in tights, and
right.
You got, Jesus flying around, can do everything. Silly kid stuff, right? But this creates a space where like we'll start getting stories like Kingdom Come. Like that's not just like action for action's sake. That's a story about like heroes that have retired and looking at the world because they've retired and going,
what in the world?
What in the world? Yeah. Right. So like, I actually want to, now as you've said, like, and I really appreciate your context, because I totally missed some of that, to be honest with you. Completely honest with you. My review, I'm glad you led with that, because my review was the pacing was a little slow. But now that you said what you said, I mean, I still hold to that. I do think that there were some beats that could have gotten cut out, I guess. I don't know. But it was only 8 episodes, so I think they did a good job of getting to it. But it was like, for me, it didn't pick up till like, in terms of the story, it didn't pick up till like episode 5, and then really got into it at episode 6. But I need to be, based on what you're saying, like I think I need to be in a space where I need to be okay with that. Now I'm glad that they did not, like, I don't think that's Netflix model where we're just gonna put an episode out and then make you wait till.
No, they're not gonna do that. I'm glad they serve it all.
Yeah, and I think that's their model. They're just like, look, we're gonna give it to you as a gift. You can binge it. You can binge it now, or you can space it out if you want.
It would be shady if they went away from that, man. Don't do that. Don't change who you are.
Right. Don't do like Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like,
give it to us like you always have, in the same fashion, standard protocol. Don't change now.
Right. Right. That's what made you Netflix.
That's correct. Don't do this. Yeah, I need it all, because after the first episode, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that all 8 are here, because watched. Right. Yeah. So the pacing was slow, and like I said, man, I believe for a reason, but I have to realize also too that everybody's not looking at it from that perspective. And I'm sure that there might be some that are. I'm not naive enough to believe that I'm the only one that kind of picked that stuff out. I mean, let's be real. But believing what I believe, I've never been in a situation where I've enjoyed so much something that made me sad, in terms of getting a perspective. Because those perspectives are shared by a lot of the youth.
Right.
And that's fine. Like I said, man, I'm not here to proselytize. I'm not here to
like, what's the point?
Condemn anybody. You got to do, what you believe to be best for you.
Right.
But after all that being said, there was one thing, and I also wrote that down. There was one thing that Brandon said too in a conversation. I believe it was with his sister Chloe. And he was like, the code wasn't meant to make our lives easier.
Right.
You have to care about people, You got to care about this world, and it's not easy to deal with, because he said, well, what we do is never about what, the easy way out. It's never about the easy way.
Right.
And he said, that's what separates us from everybody else. And that's what I've come to learn and come to believe, as a Christian. It is not easy. And it's hard to turn the other cheek. And and I fail regularly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even the vehicle, which was, I can appreciate, because when you read I'm not going to spoil the books, but like in the books, that when they got their powers, it was a similar visual, but there were some other beings present.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
okay. See, now
I remember that correctly.
I got to see it now, man. Now I got to
But I like what I was going to say was, like, I like that it wasn't an easy road to get the powers, right? Like, this dude went through all kinds of crazy visions and like puzzle pieces. And, I mean, people were looking at this cat like, you're a raving lunatic. And before they could get their powers, they had to kind of make amends for their feelings toward one another, right?
Right.
Which says volumes there. Now, once they got their powers, it's interesting now to see, okay, now that you have been blessed with powers, what do you do with that? With great power comes great responsibility. That always rings true.
That's correct.
But nobody really asked the question about what level of responsibility.
Right.
And Utopian has a point. Like, okay, if I have the power to do this, and I'm like one of the only people to do it, I can't take this lightly. There's a cross I have to bear, no pun intended.
Right.
For this.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm thankful that you said what you said, because some of that went over my head, because I think I was looking at the whiz bang of it all. And I had my critiques about that. Like, some of the action felt a little CW-ish, but that's a light. Again, that's a light. I didn't mind it though. Like, it wasn't like Mortal Kombat where I was like, man, these fights are trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can turn this off, No, it was enough for me to go, okay, I get it. They're superheroes. And I did get that there was a deeper story here. It was more about character development, the kids, the son that wants to be
like his dad.
But then you have the daughter that's like, man,
I'm out here in these streets. I'm getting high. I'm promiscuous, is whatever.
But you understand why she took that path, because of the actions of her dad. Again, the cross that he had to bear. You have this power, but you also have children, and you're off saving the world, and your kids. I mean, I don't know. Some of that stuff rings true to me,
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
you're trying to do the best for your family, which might take you away from your family, working and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, when you look back, you're like, well, crap, I should have not worked late.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So, like, I like writing like that. I love it. Like, all these I think, the biggest takeaway from our discussion tonight on these properties is, like, these comic books are not monolithic either. Yeah, they're showing you capes and, laser beam eyes and stuff like that, but there's something deeper that they're trying to say here,
Right.
Even being juxtaposed to the Great Depression, like, a lot of it was about talking about America and greed and like that kind of thing too. Like that was a theme in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Two things can be true. You can be greedy and also, I guess, try to do good for the world, I guess, too.
Right. The means by which you use to do good things later. Right. It's like, I'm going to be foul so that I can help some folks. You know what I mean? And so when is it justified?
Right.
I don't know, man. I can see, I'm not blind to where I can't see why people aren't really feeling it as much. Because you got a lot to compare it to. Like you said, you mentioned there's a lot of good stuff out here, man. And when they ain't doing a whole lot of fight, you see a little bit. But like you said, there's not a whole lot by way of, a lot of times the fight's already over and, they're at the point where they're trying to decide whether or not to abide by the code.
Right.
You've not even seen the fight.
Well, one thing I mean, and this is enlightening, man. I think one thing that, and I know we've had some comedic banter back and forth about, watching like, and I classify the superhero genre as being an action movie, like on a different level, right? But action for action's sake, like if I think, with a lot of these properties now, I just need to turn my brain off in terms of that. And like, don't bring this expectation, like, oh, I'm going to get this Marvel-esque action in this series and just be focused on that. Oh, it was dope when Utopian smacked this dude across the face. Right. It's like, okay, how many different ways are you going to show somebody fight?
Yeah,
and that's cool and all. Like, I'm not.
Yeah,
again,
no, I know what you're talking about. Right.
So, like, what's the story?
Right.
Like when we talked about when we talked about Invincible, we were talking about the father and son dynamic.
Right.
We weren't talking about like, now the action was dope.
What is the psychology? What is the ideology? What is the culture? What, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that you don't typically get, and quite honestly, a lot of people probably don't even care about.
Right.
That watch this kind of stuff.
Right. Now, what I will say though, saying all that, Wally.
What?
Man, some of the costumes were great, but man, some of the wigs and the hey man, it's looking a little Tyler Perry-ish, man.
Whose wig you talking about?
I mean, like the beard and the Utopian's beard, it looked like take a close look at it. I know I'm sounding like the ninja right now, but yeah, man, I think I don't know.
Yeah. I can co-sign on that. I can co-sign. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Sky Fox got away because he had like the Batman cowl kind of thing. He's kind of like the Batman archetype,
Yeah.
Brainwave was done pretty well. I think they aged him pretty good.
I think so too. I think so too.
And then the other thing too is like, I don't know, and maybe that's an unfair thing because like I don't know if they were trying to attempt to get a Frank Quietly, that's the artist of Jupiter's Legacy, right?
Okay.
I don't know if they were trying, because it seemed like with Brainwave, it looked like if I pull the comic out, he looks exactly like what he looks like in the comic book.
Okay.
And then I forgot, it's been so long since I read the book, but the guy in the all black that was he was pulling Black Star's armor off with his powers. I forgot. It's with R.
Is it Barnabas? No,
it's something. It doesn't matter. So like,
female, you talking about the female, or are you talking about
black? No, that was Ray Q. That was Ray Q. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
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 No, I'm talking about the I think it was a French dude.
Yeah, he was. I don't know why you say Barnabas. That's not right.
Right.
But yeah, I know you're talking about dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
real.
I mean,
Who's
he
you
looked
got?
exactly like the comics too. So I don't know if they were trying to, maybe I'll give them a pass. Maybe they're trying to make the characters look just like the comic books, in facial prosthetic. Because I mean, they were young at one point, and then now they're trying to show them old, but these are young actors. So
Right.
so some of that kind of, it threw me off a little bit, but I was able to like get past it. So but there's other people with a critical eye that will probably linger on that. So I tend to be a centrist in my critiques of movies, unless it's just trash.
And for that, I appreciate. I really,
Right.
I've always appreciated that. You keep me centered and grounded, sir.
Yeah. Well, you actually centered me on this one because I was I had some criticisms about it, and it seemed like you seemed to like the pacing and everything. And two things can be true here. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
right.
some people
That's right.
don't have to like the
No,
pacing, but
don't.
I think what you pointed out was there's a deeper story here that we need to focus on. I actually want to go back and rewatch it.
Man, please do, because I know there's probably some stuff that I missed. Because,
Right.
like I said, I went in thinking that they were mocking Batman. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. These are a lot of the arguments that I've heard in the past.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know if they'll do a season 2. They didn't.
I hope so. I mean, I hope the streaming numbers. Here's the thing. If this has to succeed, because for me, I think this is selfish because I like Mark Millar's stuff.
Yeah.
And his stories
of it. Yeah.
Most of his stories are pretty stellar. Like they're like, and they don't go on for, and he's in the category with a Robert Kirkman. Like Kirkman wrote Invincible. There's a beginning, middle, and an end. They're not bound by like, well, we're going to reboot this after, so many years, or every year we're going to reboot the universe and start all over again.
Or any of those. You can't
right. So yeah, these stories are like finite.
Done. Yep.
Yep. So with Mark Millar, I think like, some issue, like I think Nemesis was only like 5 or 6 issues. Prodigy, I loved. That's another story that I recommend that you read.
Okay. Yeah, you've told me about that one. You told me about that one in detail.
Yeah. I want to see that as a movie or a series. But I said all that to say that Netflix is getting into that game where they can have a universe living on their streaming service that is good. They can have they can eventually get to a place where, how Disney has those modules where it's like, okay, we got you can click on the Star Wars portal and everything Star Wars. They can literally, like, if they do more of his stuff, they can literally have a Millar world
in different categories, categorize it. Yep.
Correct. Yeah. And I think they'll benefit from that. So I want this to succeed because I think there's more stories that, this dude really wants to tell, and already is out there. These books have been out for years. I want to read Jupiter's Circle now. Like I bought those books to read because I knew this was coming out, and I was just curious. Okay, I didn't realize that there was a sequel to Jupiter's Legacy.
The stuff that was in the show, which book is this stuff found in?
So when they discovered their powers and the whole
the whole island and all of that.
Right. That was in Jupiter's Legacy.
Because
that sets up. But I think if I'm not mistaken, I would say they got to the like if you're reading issue 1 and 2, you find out how they get their powers, and then the rest of the way they stretched out issue 1 and 2, I think, as the foundation of the season, where it was like, we're not like, they didn't get to the island till practically the end of the season, right?
Yes,
But along the way, they showed
in the books. You mean?
No, Netflix in the TV
right,
show,
they were taking the whole
they stretched out, they stretched out the journey.
Okay, they did not do that in the book, is what you're saying?
Yeah, in the book, because the books were only like 6 issues. I think they got right to the ish, like, okay, like they didn't stretch out. They talked about the Great Depression, all this stuff, like Samson, Steel, all of that stuff. Again, I need to reread the books, but I know we got to the island pretty fast.
Okay.
To determine, okay, how they got their powers.
I got you. They went on ahead and got to it, so you wouldn't have to deal with that.
Correct.
Because
right. So I kind of like how they spread it out, and maybe that's where the pacing was throwing me off a little bit, because I remember in the books it not being this stretched out. Because it was funny when they started getting to the island. I was like, okay, yes. Like, that's where I was feeling like, yes, okay, it's picking up now.
Right.
Because you got to see the dynamics of the island. You got to see
how in the book they're doing it at the beginning. Like, here's how they got it. So we're not,
Yeah, and I think it was a whole issue, like one issue of that, where it set up like Samson, Steel.
Yeah.
It sets up like it kind of starts there. So it's almost like they took issue 1. Let's just say it was issue 1. I could be mistaken here, but they took issue 1 and stretched it out to be the 8 episodes. And then they sprinkled in, I think they even took stuff from Jupiter's Circle and added it.
And so I think that's what Mr. Nuts may have been talking about.
Because I think Reiku, I don't remember Reiku being in. Again, it's been a long time. This book came out years ago.
Okay.
So I don't remember Reiku being in Jupiter's Legacy.
Okay.
I didn't know Brainwave had a daughter. I was like, oh, like that was like that was new to me.
And that was kind of a mind-blowing revelation for me. I'm like, man, he didn't even mention any kids. You know? Where's the mom?
Yeah. He on some Omni-Man stuff too, I think.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah, man. We haven't even talked about the twins. Like, what?
Right.
Man, but yeah, man, a lot of sibling rivalry stuff going on, and man, dude, I thought it was good, man. But I can see where it wouldn't be for a lot of people, and if you're used to the high, high superhero action is what you come to see. Why have all these powers and nobody's doing anything,
right?
So.
Well, Marvel and DC got that covered.
Yeah.
That's the thing we have to kind of keep in mind too, is like, we're covered. I know DC's just going to do a bunch of whiz bang stuff. You ain't going to get.
Yeah, because that seems to be their thing.
Except for Joker, maybe.
Yeah, now see that was high quality right there.
Right.
High quality. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming, man. Keep this stuff coming, man.
Right.
We want, as always, everybody's thoughts on these 2 shows. If you're watching them, I imagine you have. If you saw the title and you clicked it, I'm sure you must have already seen every episode of shows we're talking about. So, man, please share your thoughts and tell us what you think. We enjoy the conversation, and with those on the Facebook group, Instagram, the EST 1982 podcast, EST 1982 podcast Patreon.com/EST 1982 podcast on the Patreon website. If you are so kind to contribute as little as $1 to the cause. But again,
speaking of that, Wally,
yes,
we are definitely, you're going to see Patreon. We're going to reformat we're very appreciative of our Patreon supporters, and we're rededicating ourselves to the Patreon supporters.
Yes.
They are the ultimate reason why we're still here today. Let's just be real here. Like,
that is real.
And we're going to make sure that we're going to give them content. And we're creating a community on Patreon. And we're really trying to build that community. So, you're going to see some things change on Patreon, and there's more exciting stuff to come.
And the only way you'll be able to see is if you go out there and take a look on patreon.com/EST982 podcast. And again, as Rose so eloquently stated, we're gonna do a lot of different things here, making some changes, making it more worth your dollar.
Yes.
And we so appreciate it. Thank you, to everybody who spends their time also. Because in many instances that's more valuable to you as a listener, as a consumer. So we thank you for that, because there's a ton of podcasts to listen to. We're just grateful for those who decided to listen to us, give our views and our opinions. So again, thank you all so very much, man. Until next time, we'll holler at you.
Peace.